welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, a little bit of a backstory in this video. A friend found me these figures for a insane price, and they were still in their boxes. I had actually set their boxes aside to take a look at in this video, but then they got thrown out by accident in the great purging of Christmas boxes. So, unfortunately, I can't do that. But today we're actually going to be taking a look at some of the Premiere Edition Alien Resurrection figures released by Hasbro back whenever Alien Resurrection was, coming out and stuff. So, probably the best place to start here is going to be Ellen Ripley. And, this is already kind of, what you can expect for the rest of these coming up. Clearly, this is still from that era where figures did not quite look like the people they were supposed to be. To be fair, I've seen far worse celebrity face sculpts on figures. This is almost right. And to be fair, it's actually pretty well painted. For the size and everything, and, back when this came out, this is pretty good. You got kind of a different plastic used here to make the leather pants look leather, which is nice. But you've probably already noticed what's going on with the articulation here. This is like, that day's equivalent of probably a Marvel Legends or something, This was a collector-grade Premiere figure. And it's articulated like this. So, these figures literally only actually work in one pose, so I don't know why they bothered articulating them at all, frankly. Her head is incredibly stiff. Yes, I am the evil monster who actually opened these after their years of staying mint in box. I don't feel bad. The guns, she holds on to them pretty well. This other one I'm not going to even try to undo, though. As you can see, it actually loops over the fingers on the back. So, yeah, this one took some doing to get her to hold, and I am never going to undo it. But there you go, you've got your not wanting to stand Ellen Ripley with two gigantic guns. Okay, yes, there are figure stand holes on the feet of all these figures, so there is hope if you want to get them and display them. And unfortunately, part of the problem of me losing the box is I had forgot who came with what little accessory. So I'm just going to show all of them now. I know this one came with Ripley. This was the larval alien queen that they extracted from her at the beginning of the movie. This thing is horrifying looking, and I love it. This would be like a good thing to copy the mold or 3D scan it and start printing them for D&D minis, actually, I think. Funny, the green is coming off a lot more vibrant on camera than it is in real life. To the naked eye, that's actually kind of a putrid, for lack of a better term, this is like a baby poop green going on here. But, pretty neat, completely unarticulated, though it can grab hold of your finger as you try to move it. So, you got that with one of them. Another one came with this. It is a strangely painted face hugger egg. I mean, the face hugger coming out of it's the right color, but I don't know what's up with this weird green going on. Yes, it is kind of airbrushed, so it's a lighter green up around the top. And some of the green splattered onto the face hugger there. It's also hollow. Yay! And the last of these, you got just a proper straight face hugger that is very, very large, relatively speaking. Here, let me grab Ripley again. And it's like, I think that might be like proper scale before it like closes in and stuff, but yeah, that's still horrifying looking. None of these little accessory figures were articulated at all, so it just sits there and it doesn't even sit there flat. So that's lovely. But then we get to the two really, really good ones. First off, we have, I believe this was the soldier alien, something like that. Just your classic, HR Giger, Geiger, Goo Goo, whatever, monstrosity. Really, really awesome sculpting all over this thing. The tail was actually a separate piece in the box, so you had to attach it, as well as these back tubes just slot in. But my word, this thing looks amazing. Again, I don't understand the point of articulating it, since it can't do anything other than stand in like this one specific pose. But it looks great while it does it. They painted like a stripe of blue on top, which, again, the camera's making it a little more harsh than it is. So in real life, this actually does come off much more as like a soft reflection from some overhead lights or something. This thing in particular, this is probably the best of them. Just the detail is insane. It does still have the little stand peg holes in its feet. If you need some help getting it to stand, though, it actually does a pretty good job on its own, which is quite impressive. Silver teeth, just, yeah, again, the articulation is bad, but the figure itself still looks fantastic. And then we get to the most horrific nightmare of them all, the newborn. This thing is both wonderful and just absolutely horrifying at the same time. Fun thing, the plastic that it was made out of, 20 years ago, is ever so slightly sticky. It's gotten better now that it's been out of the box for a while, but when I first got it, this thing was just like, you hear your fingers peeling off of it anytime you touched it, which just made you not want to touch it that much more. It's the least articulated of all these. It doesn't even have a neck joint, so it is just arms and legs. Oh, that was... Ugh. Have fun sleeping tonight, children. This thing is horrific as all heck. Again, there's not much you get in the way of posing. This one has a little bit of a hard time standing just because of how awkward it is. But you can get to stand still just fine like the others. It's got peg holes again, so you can put it on a stand if you want. It's kind of interesting to see, like, this era of figures doing the, premier collectible types. Because, yes, on the one hand, these things may as well not be articulated at all for how limited they are and just how exact their molds are for their poses. But there is still something to be said about these basically unbroken molds. It's weird. It's a little hard to explain, but a modern figure, yeah, it's got like 15, 20 points of articulation, but you also don't want to use most of them because, as bad as figures like this will look if you move things the wrong way, you still have that problem with the more articulated ones. And in some ways, the newer ones have it worse, just because you have that many more pieces to, keep straight and, make look cohesive. So, again, it's interesting to see this thing. It's horrific. It's ugly. I'm really, really glad to have these. And, yeah, if you like the Alien movies, this is a weird bit of merch from back in the day that might be worth seeking out if you can find them nowadays. Anyway, if I can get this thing to stand, thank you guys for watching. I'm totally not cheating and holding it up, and I will see you next time.